Welcome back to the channel. Sorry it's been a while. I was going through some health issues. Now I'm back in full. So today we are back talking about the trade tracker, TSN's trade tracker bait board. And one name I saw in there, actually two Toronto names, but I chose Kapanen for the simple reason that he's had a decent year. He hasn't been a point per game, but no one expects him to be a point per game. But he's been over a half a point per game. So I chose Kapanen because the Leafs, after reading what I've read, are in the market for another defenseman because Morgan Rielly is out. Now, before I go on the two teams I think that could land him, and they're Canadian, let's look at his stats. So he's played 56 games this year. He has 11 goals, 21 assists, 32 points, and he's a +2. That's pretty good considering Toronto's had an up and down year. So, and his contract is cheap. I believe it's under $4 million if I remember correctly. It's cheap. So here we go with the first Canadian team that, could use Kapanen to make their playoff run. They're both in the Pacific, and it's the Calgary Flames is one of the teams. I know Noah, believe it was Hamonic or Hannafin, went down with an injury and he was placed on IR. But they do have a couple defensemen, aren't top-end defensemen, that maybe Toronto would look at for this year and stuff. So that those defensemen could be Mark Stone, maybe there is a Rasmus Anderson trade or Brandon Davidson. I don't see Giordano going anywhere, but I believe with the pieces, like Toronto could get, say, a Rasmus Anderson for Kapanen, have a second round pick come this, or third round pick go to Toronto, second go to Calgary, or vice versa, whatever you think the picks would do. I believe there is a trade for Kapanen to go to Calgary. Now the other one is the other Alberta team. You're looking at the Edmonton Oilers, and they have so much depth in their defensive pool that anything could happen. They're looking for defenseman NHL ready. So I'm not talking about Caleb Jones. I'm not talking about Ethan Bear. I wouldn't be surprised that teams be calling after Ethan Bear. I'm talking about Adam Larson or Chris Russell. Now you say, well, why would they want to trade them? Edmonton's trying to make a push. They're almost at the ceiling cap as Toronto. And I believe Larson only has 2 years left on his contract, one after this year, and Russell's a free agent, or however it works. There's one of the guys have terms left. Now, this would be good for, I would say Larson for Kapanen. Straight up, Larson Kapanen. You guys can decide in the comments if you throw picks, prospects, whatever in there. Why I would do Larson for Kapanen is because Larson is a proven top 4 defenseman. He's not a top 2, he's a top 4. And that is what Toronto's looking for, is a top 4 defenseman. And honestly, the salary cap, it's probably probably $1 million off of each other. And with Morgan Rielly on the IR, they can actually afford to do this trade, and it would solidify that defenseman for this year, maybe next year if they don't want to sign Tyson Barrie, blah blah blah. That saga that's going on down in Toronto. Now, why would this be good for Edmonton? They get that player that could play the third line with Gaetan Haas and whoever, or he could play first line with Connor McDavid. Now, with James Neal being on the LTIR now, that leaves room for a trade to come in. And Kapanen could play on McDavid's line when McDavid comes back from that quad injury. Now, if you want to get more pieces involved, say a Puljujärvi from Edmonton and a second round pick or a first round pick from Toronto, you can. There is many a trades. I believe, as bad as Oilers fans and Leafs fans don't like this, the Edmonton Oilers and the Toronto Maple Leafs could actually help each other out. Let me know in the comments what you think, or if you think he's going to go somewhere else, if he's going to stay put. Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you guys on the next one.